Welcome back to Theater Advice and FCAV Systems. Today I want to talk about the REL T5X. I like this subwoofer a lot for a couple reasons. I'm going to start with what I don't like about the subwoofer, and it's that I got a YouTube injury a minute ago, and I want to share it with y'all because, as you can tell, it's pretty serious. These heat sinks right here, if you rub your finger across them, are like little razor blades, so that's super fun. So don't do that. That's a disclaimer. Should put that somewhere, like, don't do that. So I'm a little upset about it. But so what I like about the subwoofer, I think it's one of the best or the best living room subwoofers. The reason is, one, it looks really good. It's small. It's got a downward facing driver, which hits the wife acceptance factor pretty strong there. You don't see anything other than just the high gloss black casing until you flip it over or go to the back of it. It's an 8-inch driver, pretty serious driver from them, which is not that shocking. It's got the cool crown on it and all that stuff, I think. Yeah, some of them don't. One of them doesn't have the crown. They put the crown on there, even though it's downward facing. But I really like the look of that. I like that they do that. It's kind of a special thing. Well, what's cool about REL, and I'll talk a lot about every model of REL and what I like about them and stuff like that. But this is a 125 watt AB amp, so it's not a digital amp with kind of fake power. Pretty strong power for a little 8-inch driver. Has all the REL, unlike their home theater subs, this is going to have all the REL goodies. And by that I mean, of course, the speak on cable connection, which allows you to calibrate it. And we're going to be doing some more like install videos of really how to calibrate it. That'll be a separate video, but I'm gonna dive into that. And they all calibrate exactly the same way, so I'm just going to do a REL calibration video. But what I love about this guy is that it's really, really powerful, clean, tight, doesn't bottom out, very easily. I mean, you got to throw a lot at it for it to do that, but for such a small package, great sub. This thing is $6.99 retail. It's a smoking deal for something of this quality, weight, stuff like that. I have it kind of flipped upside down because you can't really see the driver, obviously. So I'll kind of grab it, flip it over, so we can play with the back a little bit, and I'll just tilt it back and forth, hopefully not injuring myself. These things are crazy sharp. It's really funny. So you've got 3 knobs here, and they all do very specific stuff. I'll explain them. LFE, which is how we have it hooked up here, because it's a living room sub, so we don't have it. We've got it with some on-wall speakers. It pairs really good with like KEF 301s, 302s, Martin Logan SLM SXXLs and stuff like that, like the Slim XL speakers, because it really, where those speakers fail is super tight, clean bass, because how are you going to get bass out of something that's 1.5 inches deep, right? But they sound really good. Both of those speakers sound really good, but they're lacking what this does, and basically how these calibrate. You can really get those things sounding like full range speakers with the right subwoofer, so it's really, really cool. So if you want to, and you're tying it to a little more of a serious system, you can use the speak on cable. I'm going to go over that in a separate video. I might even do it today, honestly, just really go over how to dive into how REL hooks up and how it works. But so you got your high-low, your crossover, and your LFE. If you're not using the LFE cable and you're using speak on only, you can just turn this all the way down. It won't do anything to it. The LFE is going to make it a little more boomy, a little more powerful, give it a little different signal. Now the crossover in the low level, the crossover is obviously crossover. For those that don't know what crossover means, really what it means, it depends on your speakers, right? So if you've got speakers that are big, beefy, you look at the specs, it says it goes down to 30 hertz or something like that. I mean, the speaker probably goes cleaner to 50 hertz in reality. So you're going to put your crossover on this guy, in my opinion, closer to like the 80 range, somewhere like that, just because you want your sub to kind of roll over the lows, right? So if the frequency is like this and your speaker goes to about 30, 50, it starts to drop off and it doesn't do it anymore, essentially what the drop off is. Now your sub you bring in and try to meet them to where there's not a triangle up here. You're trying to make a smoother transition where your sub's doing some of the stuff. Now you don't want your sub to play too high, although this one can. Some bigger subs, you don't want to try to have a 15-inch sub playing really high frequencies, because it starts to sound really boomy. Like it'll start to interject itself into conversations it wasn't invited to, meaning like human voice, stuff like that. So you really want to play with the crossover to where your speakers are smooth. So if your speakers are on walls or in-wall speakers or something like that, that probably don't really go comfortably below 80 hertz, even though they say that they might, and some do. But you know, you kind of have to understand what your speakers are doing. But if they need a little more help, the crossover will be a little higher. If your speakers are big and beefy, you can turn this crossover all the way down to 60 or so. You're basically telling your subwoofer, don't play super high frequencies, just give me the low stuff that my speakers are missing, so the roll-off is cleaner. The high-low level is volume straight up. And now on a REL, unlike some, SVS, the volume can be all the way up, and you're still kind of in their realm of sounds pretty good. They have a totally different volume knob. JL Audio, I don't get it past half usually. Mine at home are like sitting at 15% because it like destroys my house. But the RELs, I would start at around 25%, somewhere around here, and then start playing with it after that. So just kind of start there in your listening realm. But the REL T5X, I mean, just a super, super clean sub for a living room. Absolutely does what smaller systems like in-walls, on-walls, that kind of thing, just not going to do from a heavy hitting standpoint. Fills in those areas. High gloss piano black. Price is super on point for something of this quality. It's got, you know, heat sinks on the back because it, even though it's small, it doesn't dissipate heat internally very well, so they put the heat sinks on there. I mean, super beefy, true high quality amplifier from one of the best sub companies on the planet. I just absolutely love the brand, absolutely love this unit. I would put it in my living room in a heartbeat. So REL T5X, hope you check it out or put it in your list. If you need any more information, contact us in any of the ways you'll hear about now. Thanks, see ya. Hey guys, I just wanted to thank you for listening to whatever I was just rambling about. And of course, if you are in the Dallas area or surrounding areas and you can get here, visit our showrooms in Frisco or South Lake location. And now we can help you anywhere, from anywhere in the country through the world's first mom and pop shop on the internet called fcavsystems.com. We are very excited about this project. We're happy to bring what Theater Advice does here in Texas to everyone. Thanks for watching.